everybody. It's your girl Angie. Welcome back to Kiss My Cheeks TV. It is time. Oh, let me turn this heater off. It is time to get into the Real Housewives of Atlanta. My bangs aren't really banging anymore, but hey, it is what it is. I made it off of work. So put this phone on do not disturb. Let's get into it. Y'all already know my schedule. I have been working crazy overtime at work. Hey, I didn't even know you watched the ATL. But hey, um I've been crazy busy at work. All my reviews are late, but I'm here. I apologize. Hopefully, maybe a few weeks from now, this project will be over, and at least by the end of the month, this project will be over, and I could be back to regularly scheduled programming. But I just thank y'all and appreciate y'all for being patient with me. But let's get into the Real Housewives of Atlanta, episode number 2. Oh, hey Tree. I think it's Eric all the time when I see the podcast. Okay. Hey Trees. Um I'm still waiting to be entertained. That's all I'm waiting for. That's all I'm waiting for. I have changed my mind about the Portia Drew Dennis situation. We'll get to that at the end. I'm not about to go in order because I didn't take any notes. We're about to go person by person. If I skip something, that means I ain't care. Anyway, let's talk about the newbies. We got a little bit of a package of the newbies. Are we feeling the new ladies this week? We got to learn a little bit more about them. I think the general consensus is Kelly is the one we like. I'm still at a pause. Like, out of the 3, I like Kelly the most. But I'm kind of rethinking that stance of start. I feel like maybe we need to start all over. Like, everybody needs to be new, or maybe just a splash of new, because it's too much. Something's off with the formula. It could be Kenya. It could be that Kenya has been cut out of so much for her shenanigans that we're missing the dynamic of the show that we're used to. It could be Kenya. I don't think Portia is it to hold, to hold the glue. Shamia to me is like a new cast member because she's always only been a friend of. So I don't think Shamia is the glue. Something's missing with this season, and I think it is Kenya. But back to the newbies. We had a moment with Kelly, and I believe it was Britt, and Kelly was in her food shop. We learned that one location was closed down. Something with that sorry ass husband. I was doing, y'all don't tell nobody. Don't tell nobody, but around 4 o'clock, oh, the sleep was kicking in at my desk around 4 o'clock. And I did some Instagram scrolling, and I saw a picture of Kelly in her original face, gorgeous, and this husband of hers. It had to be the money. It had to be the money. That's all I'm gonna say. Because that was little Portia Simon marriage over there. But I plan to do a kitchen table talk daily tomorrow, and I'm gonna put the picture up and be a little bit shady, but I ain't gonna do it today. But anyway, Kelly told us that the husband, I guess he quit paying the rent and he shut that original location down. Then he stole $500K out the bank account. Kelly is trying to open up. I didn't take no notes, so I don't. Hey, Glenda girl, did she say Madonna or Conyers? It's been a long time since I lived in the ATL, 10 years, so I don't forgot what side of town. But she's trying to open up a new location. Let me tell you something. I'm just not a chicken and waffles girl. I think I've said this before. I like waffles, and then I like chicken. I don't want them together. I don't want to pour no syrup on top. I don't want to try no fancy flavors. So it's just not my tea, but Black people in the ATL love them a good chicken and waffle. So good luck, Kelly. It seems like if the first one was successful, I'm sure the second one will be as well. But don't go into debt trying to open it up so you can have a premiere party for this show. Listen to your project manager, stick to the schedule, and when it opens, it opens. And I feel like Kelly, is one of the ones that'll make it to another season. Like, is this season 16? I don't know which season, but next season, I think Kelly, you'll be back next season. So if you gotta wait to next season to have a big premiere party so you could do the locations correctly, wait till next season. But anyway, that's all I care about, Kelly. We got a moment with Britt and her husband and her mama. My fast forward finger is very heavy for Britt Edie. I'm just not feeling it. Everything about Britt gives me fraud, gives me fake, phony. Nothing about her gives me real estate agent that hustled to become a multimillionaire. She doesn't carry herself like an educated real estate agent. Like, I don't know who buying policies from her, but I would hate for y'all to lose something and have to cash that policy in. I'm just saying, based on my judgment, and I don't know shit about insurance, but Britt wouldn't be the person I would be looking for to buy a policy from. She doesn't give me that vibe. When I think about the real estate queen or the insurance queens, I go back to season 1 of the OC with Vicky what's her Gusselson, whatever, Vicky G, whatever, you know her. Vicky was in there working her ass off. Like Vicky gave me insurance queen. I'm selling you a policy. Britt, not so much. Her husband doesn't give me money. The house looked like an Airbnb. Where the furniture? Where the pictures? Where the dishes? Y'all was in. I mean, ain't nobody kitchen that damn clean. Everybody got a cup in the sink or something. A little bit of salt and pepper on the island. That kitchen was spotless. It looked like an Airbnb. I don't know. Britt Edie gives me fraud. That ring gives me Robin Dixon. What they call it, a Morgan Knight. Is that what Giselle had won by Robin? A Morgan Knight? A fancier CZ? Kelly is the one who's had way too much plastic surgery. Kelly is the one who asked Portia why you sleep with that lady husband. That was Kelly. Britt Edie gives me the younger version of Marlo Hampton. And I feel like if we were just going to have another Marlo, you could have kept Marlo. Because at least Marlo be dressing and giving us some good fashions. Trish, you don't like Kelly. I'm on the fence. I do want to hear Kelly's story because I feel like Kelly is going to give us something real about this husband. And I'm looking for the real. The last one is Angela Oakley. She had a moment with her husband and she introduced the children. It seems like a blended family. She had a daughter, he has a son, and then they have 2 together. Beautiful family. I'm here for her husband because it's very clear. What's his name? Charles Oakley? Andre Oakland? If it ain't Michael Jordan, I don't know. If it ain't Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Shaq, I don't know who they are. But whoever her husband was or is present tense, he does not want to be on camera. He don't give a damn about this reality TV show foolishness. And I love him for that. Like, I'm entertained by that. Like, he's like, I don't give a damn about these ladies. They ain't got to like me. They ain't got to ever come over here. Don't get beyond yourself with that. What's it called? A Cerulean. You know, that's way out my budget. I ain't never even heard of that before. A Cerulean. Because y'all know I can't say Royals. I can't say Royals Royce to save my life. But he was like, don't get beside yourself. You ain't getting one of those. You better like this Mercedes Benz. That's about as much as you're going to get. But anyway, Angela, I mean, calling Shamia a lapdog, that's the best you can do. You just going to sit up here and be Drew's lapdog. So moving on. Let's get to Shamia. Shamia had a real moment. Mind you, I do follow Shamia on social media. So I knew that her daughter was born with difficulties. I didn't know that she was premature. I didn't know the surrogate had breast cancer, but why should I know that? They shouldn't put all their business in the streets. But when they talked about it on the show, I had a little tear. It didn't come down my face, but it was in the corners of my eyes. I felt so bad. I Shamia's children are gorgeous, beautiful blessings. I recall Shamia on Instagram telling us every time that baby had a surgery, I believe it was some kind, I ain't no doctor, but I believe it was some kind of breathing issue, and it probably stemmed from being premature. Um, she kept us up to date on every surgery, every recovery, every time she had to go back. She cried on Instagram. So I was familiar with her story from having the baby. She was very open about that, but I didn't know the cause. And that lady who's the surrogate, I did not know she had breast cancer. I'm praying she's in remission. I'm assuming so since she's talking about it. Um, just I like to hear real stuff. Like that was a little bit sad. It was a little bit teary-eyed, but we ain't gotta be cussing each other out every scene. Like sometimes I do want to be educated about some stuff. I do like, hey Stephanie, I do like when they said like my cancer had nothing to do with it. Her being premature had nothing to do with, delaying your cancer. Like all of that, or some she said you can get breast cancer, gestational breast cancer. Some of the stuff I never even heard of, like having a baby could bring on the breast cancer, like bring it out. I had never heard of this. So I appreciated that scene with Shamia and the surrogate. Prayer, Shamia, you and your husband want to have more children. She says she has 2 girls and 2 boys on ice, 2 in LA, 2 in Atlanta. I pray you can have all 4 of them children and have a house full. Shamia talked about her, is it ectopic pregnancy? And she touched on how Black women are not believed in hospitals because she was in pain. And I believe she said it ruptured because she was bleeding everywhere. And that's when they took her seriously. I like Shamia this episode. I can't wait to have Kitchen Table Talk Daily tomorrow. I don't have time to get into the hot topics or the tea I seen rolling across Instagram today because I ain't have time to put my slideshow and my notes together. But maybe around 3:30 tomorrow when that sleepiness hit in, I'll get Kitchen Table Talk Daily. Don't tell nobody at work what I said. Matter of fact, scratch that. I'm gonna wait till 4:30. Anyway, but I like Shamia this episode, and I liked how she checked them at that workout because Drew, Shamia, and Angela went and worked out somewhere, and Drew let us know that Ralph is putting her through it. He want alimony, he want child support, and he want to stay in the basement forever. He don't want to get no apartment. He said he ain't moving. I would move. I would let him because I don't mean this to be shady. I just mean this to sound real. Nothing about Drew and Ralph says they paid $2 million cash for that house. I know they got a house note. I would leave his ass in the house with that note. Me and my kids would be in a little, you see, Kelly got her a nice luxury townhouse. Me and my kids would be in a townhouse somewhere. Hell, what y'all should have did since Shamia and her husband went over there and snatched up Kim Zolciak house from the auction. Y'all should have went over there to the auction and snatched up Kim Zolciak house. And you could have got that for the low and let Ralph sit over there with that other house. But whatever, Drew. I do feel bad for Drew, but Drew just lost so much. I don't even know if it's real. Like, is Ralph really living in the basement? Did they really file paperwork? Is this one of them Ashley divorces where we got to wait 3 seasons for the paperwork to be signed? Like, Drew just lost so much. I don't know if I should feel bad for her because this could all be a scheme her and Dennis cooked up to bring us some bullshit. I thought Ralph was this businessman with all these business. Girl, Glenda, don't do that. Don't do that, Glenda. You know. We know what kind of business trips Ralph was on. But anyway, moving on from Drew and them. Let's get to the meat and potatoes of the show, because what else happened this episode? Let me think before. Oh, let's talk about Porsha and Kenya. Then we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of Porsha, Dennis, and Drew. Porsha met up with Kenya and yet again made herself sound like a fucking idiot. I don't know. I don't know. It could just be me and my common sense. But if I was wife number 5, I would sincerely be asking myself, this man promised love, security, support, financial freedom, fidelity to 4 other women, and it didn't work out. What makes me so special? Like, what would make me think I'm so special that at number 5, he's going to change? I'm sorry, I don't want to be anyone's wife number 5. I would have to strongly think about being number 3. Now, I can't talk too much shit because currently I am wife number 2. My husband was married before, so I can't talk too much shit. But I don't think I will. After number 2, I'll be like, something wrong, because why you can't get it right? And it doesn't seem like Simon has ever been married for any length of time. And to me, every time Porsha talks about Simon, you just make yourself look like a bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger fool. You was on Watch What Happened Live, and your best friend from childhood's husband said that nigga ain't shit. But you so blinded by love, and we know love really is code for his fraudulent bank account. You was blinded by that private jet bill he was running up, and you was scared you was gonna have to pay for it. You was blinded by whatever house you thought he owned out there in Costa Rica that you and PJ was flying out to every other week. You were blinded by that Morganite ring he placed upon your finger. Like, ma'am, please. None of this had anything to do with love. You didn't even like to kiss that man in the mouth. Every time you walked up to him, he was like I never seen you give him any kind of passionate kiss. I know you had sex in the dark. I ain't have to say all that. Moving on. I was happy to see Kenya. Would I have liked to seen a season of Kenya and Porsha being friends? No. I don't want them to be at each other's throats, but Kenya, we don't have Marlo. Kenya is the only one who I feel like would get down to the nitty-gritty of what the viewers need to know about Porsha and her fraudulent marriage. Because see, Marlo would have been put all her business in the street. Kenya and Porsha friendly. I needed Kenya to be asking Porsha the real questions. Like, girl, you look a fool, right? You sat up here and stole Fallon man just for you to be on TV looking like a bigger fool. At least Fallon got $250K, I believe. I don't recall. Angie, don't. Right, one of them was fraudulent, but what do you mean one of the marriages was fake? Was it like back in the day? Because you know I love me a good period piece. Was it like back in the day when the counts and the dukes would take a maiden in front of a priest and marry him just so they could have sex, and then they would go off to war and die, and then they'd be pregnant, and they'd be like, no, that baby is a bastard because he ain't no real priest. Was it that kind of fake? I'm just wondering, what do we mean by fake marriage? Is it one of them hood marriages where we just calling each other husband and wife, but we ain't walk down the aisle to the first? Porsha, you sound foolish. And I'm worried about PJ if you the one in her care and you making these foolish ass decisions, bringing these. It's scary out there with how people are. I don't want to say the G word, but they're loving up on these women with children just to take advantage of the children. Portia, I'm about to read you in a second. Let me put this little bit of lip gloss on and let's get to the meat and potatoes of the episode. Because I wrote down what Portia said. I ain't write it down, but I took a screenshot because I didn't want to miss none of the foolishness that Portia was talking over here on the internet. Now, we're going to start with how the episode opened. And Portia done cussed out Drew, call her a low down, dirty son of a bitch. I'm ad-libbing because I ain't take no notes. Not Portia is equivalent to Jennifer Williams. But Jennifer got her own money. But Portia, in her own right, has her own money as well. Like, she's been on Atlanta enough time, and I'm sure Go Naked is successful. I mean, yeah. But at least it looked like Jennifer having some good sex. She was like, at least if I'm gonna get a scammer, I'm gonna get one that's gonna blow my back out. Don't go there. Don't get to what Portia was talking about. So she done called Drew a low down, dirty son of a bitch. Whatever. And she said, Drew, you could fuck Dennis. You could marry him. You could even kill him. I don't even care. I don't care what you do to Dennis. But you better not film no scene with him on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And I had to fast forward in my mind. I was like, wait a minute. She can fuck your baby daddy. She can walk down the aisle with your baby daddy. She can even unalive him if she chose to. And you would not give a damn. But she just better not do none of that shit on TV. I'm confused. I'm highly confused. Then here goes Drew, but Dennis was my angel. He's my angel. I was in the darkest place. And he just floated down from the heavens above. And he said, here's a song. I ain't supposed to be cursing like this. And y'all ain't seen none of this sorority stuff. Don't tell nobody. He flew down from the heavens above and he saved me and he presented me with a song. And it was all about you, Portia. He cried. He still loves you. And he cried real tears. And we've just been working this out together. He's so hurt that you went off to a bigger bag, but it really wasn't that big. And I'm so hurt that my husband was in the basement and we just cried tears of music. I hope this is the last episode we got to hear of this. What else you got going on, Drew? What else you got going on? Then we're talking about this photo shoot. How dare you tell production? Can I break this fourth wall? How dare you tell production you want to have a photo shoot in my hair and you ain't running by me? Ain't nobody taking a picture of Go Naked hair but me. I put money in your pocket. Now, Drew, Portia did help you out because that first season or two, them wigs was raggedy as hell. That's the best thing Portia ever did for you. You could at least give her some loyalty for the wigs. Forget Dennis. Give her some loyalty for them wigs because you owe her a lot for that. I ain't never gonna forget them wigs, them synthetic wigs you had on your head. I love how Portia calling Drew all kinds of names and she did the same thing to somebody else's husband. Portia is a hypocrite. Portia is an idiot. Portia is a fool. We already know Portia is not a girl's girl. She has no loyal. Like she was in another scene talking about ain't nobody loyal to me. Girl, you're not loyal to anybody, not even your family. I don't even think she got no loyalty over there to the PJ. Because we seen who lap she threw PJ on for a bag. I wouldn't trust Portia with a paper bag. With nothing. You can't expect anything from a nothing ass bitch like Portia. And I like Portia. But can we call it how it is? Angie, what do you like about Portia? Do you just said all this? I think Portia is good television. I think Portia is going to become the villain this season just because she sounds so foolish. Now they're at the party. At the end of the party, they all jump in a swimming pool. Shamia, what kind of party is this? Where I gotta come over here in my good white outfit. I hope you and your rich ass, wealthy ass, ain't got no street address ass husband put everybody fashions in the dry cleaners. Cause why are we jumping in the swimming pool? It should have been a pool party. If we're gonna just be jumping in swimming pools. Or is that my middle class ass mindset? That's what rich people do. We just jump in swimming pools for no damn reason in our good ass clothes. I mean, because you know I'm a fish. I love a good swimming pool, but not in my clothes, not in my good ass wigs. Anyway, let me find this statement because I got to read the statement because it was foolish. So later on in the episode, here it is right here. Portia meets up with Dennis, PJ. They're playing at the little jungle gym. Let's wrap this up because I meant for this to be 30 minutes. They're playing at the little jungle gym, having a good ass time. Great. Portia is demanding that Dennis does not film with Drew. How could you film with her? This is my platform. I made this show. This shit wouldn't be nothing without me, though it still went on for 2 years when I took a break. But this shit wouldn't be nothing without me. How dare you? You got a baby with me. Nobody is ever loyal to me. Nobody ever treats me how I don't treat them. Portia is crying. Like her and Dennis had a conversation. Dennis was like, look, this is where I said I changed my mind. I do believe Dennis pause. It is weird that Dennis, if he's this, I want to be a music producer, and we have all this talent in the ATL. Not saying nothing against Drew. But if Dennis really wanted to make music, why he pick Drew? Why pick? And then I'm going to give you the flip side. I believe Dennis picked Drew because he knows if I want to dabble in the music industry and I'm from the ATL, I need to pick somebody that people know. I don't want to start from the ground up and have to build up somebody's social media and really spend a lot of money putting them out there. Let me snatch up Drew. People already know her from Bravo. We can get in the studio, make a couple of beats. I love when Nene say that. Make a couple of beats. We could cry, put our tears on a record, and we don't have to do too much because when the show come back on, we just gonna get on TV, get on Bravo, get them a little percentage and put the music out. Like, to me, that's smart. That's smart. Dennis was like, hell, I could spend 20K with Drew, or I'm gonna have to spend 200K with a new bitch and really get them up off of the ground where Drew is already known. Now, Drew, I did see that little snippet of that music video you had rolling around Instagram. Dennis done put it up all over the place. And it sounds like it's I Got 5 on it, but really like chopped and screwed. It's a really slow version of I Got 5 on it. I don't like it, Drew. Drew, your issue is you almost 40. I don't know if you in the 40 club or not, but I know you're knocking. You're tapping on 40's door if you're not already through it. And it ain't no shame because I done been through it. My ass almost tapping on the 5-0. But anyway, you're making music like you're Coco Jones. And you're not. Coco is not saying that you're not beautiful, but Coco was 20. Coco can be an R&B pop star for the Gen Zs. You need to be making music for me, the Gen X. And I want to hear some Jasmine Sullivan. I want to hear you standing at the mic singing your face off. Drew turned 40 this year. Yes. You're knocking on it. Hell, you kicking on it because it's about to be May in 2 months. You kicking that door in, Drew. You're not Coco Jones. I don't want to see you with your natural ass. That's a nice way of saying it. I don't want to see your natural ass with some cut off jeans that the 18-year-olds have on, squatted with fishnets. I don't want to see you rubbing your vagina with your legs wide open in the video talking about whatever you was talking about, because mind you, I don't like the song. I just don't like the song. Drew, you are an artist. You have a voice. Use it. The day of you being sexy and rolling all around in the sand, those days are over. You are not Coco. You are not Chloe. And I'm sorry. You're not going to be. But you can give us a good old Candace Dillard moment where you're standing at the mic, you're singing, you're doing your little two-step to your go-go beat, and you can make a lane for yourself, but you're trying to break into an industry like you're still 20 years old where you need to remember you're knocking on 40. And I just wasn't here for it. Now, I did hear Shamia's song. I didn't see no music video, but I like Shamia's song. It's a more upbeat, and it was cute, and Shamia was singing her ass off. Drew, I want to hear vocals. At 40, we want to hear vocals. But anyway, back to what Portia was talking about. Portia is crying because Dennis is filming with another housewife. She says he's using her own platform against her, and it's going to make him look bad to PJ in a couple of years if she ever has to see this. I think Portia is more concerned about, if I piss Dennis off, he's just gonna go over there and talk shit with Drew, and I don't want him talking shit on this platform. Ma'am, I'm sure Dennis can cuss you out in your face on this show. It ain't no different. Like, ma'am, you were fighting him and his mother on this show. What baby PJ gonna think about that when she go back like, oh, my family matters. Let me look at this. Mom, I want to see how much the family matters. And she see her mama throwing hands with her grandmother and her daddy. Or you gonna block that so she can't never see. Like, Portia, you make no sense. What is PJ gonna do when she looks back and be like, mama had me bouncing on this con artist knee like he my daddy and he babysitting me, and she in the next year talking about, well, I really ain't even know him. What is PJ gonna think about that? Like, ma'am, miss me with all this. No one is ever loyal to me. Tell me one person you've been loyal to. You haven't even been loyal to your own sister. The only person I've seen Portia be loyal to is her mama. She give Mama Diane all the DoorDash and all the houses to live in. That's the only loyalty I've seen out of Portia. It's her mama name is Diane, ain't it? I wouldn't give a damn if everybody on the show said F you, Portia, and everybody gave you their ass to kiss, because that's what you do to other people. And we aren't going to use PJ as a way of getting Dennis to act right. Portia reminds me of a baby daddy that thinks just because we got a child together that they forever have access and control over you. No, sir. No, ma'am. I'm with Kenya. What is she over here arguing about? Ain't that a whole ass wife? Kenya, you should have spoke up and said that. Kenya, you should have got loud and said that. Ain't this a wife? Kenya, you missed your moment. Let me see what else they said. Oh, I done already said everything. I thought I needed some help, and I ain't need no help. I already said everything that it said. The episode ended with Portia and Dennis on a hot mic moment that they were both aware of. And Portia talking about, if you do some shit, if you film with Drew, I'm whooping your ass. That's pretty much what she said. I want to see it. Drew, this might be the season we see that Chicago come out of you, because we know Portia would throw hands. You've been talking a lot of shit. You better get them hands ready to throw back. Because you always love to tell people, I'm from Chicago. I think this the season you're gonna have to prove your city. You might have to rep your city this season, Drew. Because I think Portia is really is really upset. Now back to where I changed my mind. I thought this was a scheme that all three of them set up to have a storyline. I do think Dennis is using this as an opportunity to jump out some music, bad music, but still some music. So Dennis is an opportunist. What they said Todd was, but it was really Drew was putting 20 on 10 because she don't really want to talk about Ralph in the basement. And Portia is just a fool. Portia is just a fool. And that's it. I don't think it's a scheme. I really think Portia is just foolish. Glenda, you was cracking up. I was cracking up too, but I said, Kenya, you should have been louder because I don't think everybody heard you say that. You should be like, ain't this a wife? Weren't you just filming with Fallon's husband? People are not calling Portia out. I feel like they're being way too light on her. I would be pushing Portia's button. Portia, Portia is probably the highest paid outside of Kenya. Kenya probably had the highest until she got fired. Portia is probably the highest paid person sitting on this cast right now. I will be making her earn every last cent. I would be on her ass. Anyway, let's wrap this up. Portia is definitely weaponizing PJ. Yes, to get her way. But Dennis got them court orders. I don't think it's going to work. I love how Dennis didn't move when Portia was pouting. I did too, because if he would have chased her, if he would have woo-wooed her, I would have knew what's up. But I think Portia has played in Dennis's face. I think Dennis, for the sake of PJ, said, I'm going to let Portia do what she going to do, but I got my eyes on my daughter. And I also think this just could be the pettiness in me. I think Dennis is finding pleasure on Portia's downfall because, well, Dennis, you was cheating. You was cheating. No angel. But I do think Portia moved dirty, and especially after I'm telling you, it wouldn't be shit you could say to me after you threw some plates and a microphone stand at my mama. It wouldn't be shit you could say to me. It would be like, let's meet at the McDonald's, put PJ in the back seat, and I'm out. It wouldn't be no meet up for no play dates. It wouldn't be no blended family pictures on Father's Day, Mother's Day, whatever it was. If you threw some plates and a microphone stand at my mama, hit your check, put PJ in the back seat, I'm out. Yeah, Dennis was cheating. That's why they broke up, because Dennis cheats. Dennis cheats. He what they call it, the young people say, he for the streets. Dennis isn't the streets of ATL. You got a little bit of bag in ATL. It's plenty of hoes in ATL that want a bag. So yes, Dennis was out there cheating, and Portia left his ass. So that's that. But Portia also played in Dennis's face, and after that whole mama situation, I wouldn't have no care or concern either. And I would be, that's what your ass get. I would be too. Right. You fight my mama, you better be happy that Dennis is a better man than some others. Because if you was fighting some people's mothers, they would come out swinging on your ass. And I don't condone that. I don't think men should hit women at all. I'm just saying, I live in a world of reality where some men will bust your head open if you start throwing plates and microphone stands at their mama's head. Some men will hit you back. Portia, be happy you found you one that ain't like that. But I'm just saying, you need to calm down. But anyway, if y'all want to bring anybody back, bring that damn Marlo back, because Marlo gonna give us what we need. Bring Marlo back. Or do we hate Marlo? I didn't forgot why we hated Marlo. I know she slammed the door in Sheree's face or somebody's face. Was it Sanya's face? I done forgot who face Marlo slammed the door in. But bring her messy ass back because I don't know if y'all recall. It was a reunion. The reunion where Candy had on her Dungeon Slayer outfit. Y'all got to remember, Marlo shut Portia up because she was like, "You don't want me to tell people who you're dating." And that was the season that Portia quit. She quit after that reunion because she married Simon. I think Marlo knew all along that Portia was fucking that man and she was zipping her lips, but she was like, "Bitch, don't play with me because I'll let them all know." Dennis was cheating while Portia was pregnant. I don't think so. I think it happened after because remember Dennis had Lil Mo singing that wedding song. What's it? I done forgot Lil Mo wedding song because I'm in my mind, I'm thinking of Jagged Edge, and I know that ain't the song. But Lil Mo was out there singing and he proposed to Portia. I think he was cheating after the engagement. But hell, who knows? Who cares? I don't care. Anyway, I done talked 11 minutes too long. I appreciate y'all hanging with me. I'm going to tell y'all something. This channel of mine gives me life. And just as much as like, I promise y'all, I was dead tired after work today. I'm already late on the video. I really didn't want to do it today, but I had a sorority meeting. So I said, I'm just going to go live right after the sorority meeting and then go put my pajamas on and chill. But like, I feel re-energized. Like whenever I do go live, it lifts my spirits. I get to talk my shit and y'all talk shit in the comments and we have a good time. And so I'm sure in about 30 minutes, I'm gonna be sleepy again, but I feel so good after, I feel so good after this live. Thank you, Glenda. Everybody, please like the video. Please, if you're in the rewatch gang, get in the comments and let me know what y'all think about Portia's and them shenanigans this week. I don't even know what's about to happen next week, but tomorrow night, I'm gonna try to do it before Survivor comes on because I know once Survivor come on, it's a wrap. I'm gonna do a kitchen table talk daily because I want to talk about Mia because Mia says she getting ready to whoop Giselle's ass, or she would have whooped Giselle's ass. I would have liked to see that, but forget you, Mia. Monique is starting with Tyler Perry again, so I got to drag Monique for a little bit. It was some more stuff going on on Instagram that I clipped, but we're going to talk about that tomorrow. So come back tomorrow for that. And with that being said, like, comment, share, subscribe. I appreciate your support and I'll see y'all later. Have a good night, y'all. Bye.